What do you silently tolerate from a friend, family member, or so because you love them, and because they put up with your crap too? My wife, if I ask her to repeat what she said, doesn't repeat the last thing she said, but the thing before that. Her. Remember Sharon that I work with? She went to the supermarket. Me. Oh yeah. Her. Yeah. She flug left. Me. What? Her. I said Sharon went to the supermarket. My mother always chews with her mouth open and clicks her tongue and licks her lips loudly when she's done. I can feel myself fuming inside when she does that. Oh god, so does my mom. She talks with her mouth full and chews gum at full volume. Too. It makes my skin crawl. A friend likes to sit at my piano and bang out clusters of notes, even though he doesn't play and can't read music. It's all angry discord. I just let him sit there and pound away until he gets it out of his system. Maybe it's actually a Leo Ornstein composition that he's been working really hard on mastering. When I text my so a couple of questions and she only ever responds to the last one, I learn to ask questions one at a time. Over explaining of stuff. If I ask my mom a question about anything, I get a full story starting weeks before the event happened and ending with possible outcomes of the event. If I ask about an article she's reading, instead of answering my question she just starts reading the whole article out loud. My mom does this too. I don't hold it against her because I love her and she's trying to help, but sometimes she just keeps talking and talking and talking. I got the point 10 minutes ago, please stop. My dad needing to impart advice for every situation used to really get to me, but now he has cancer. Even if I already know what he's going to say, I try to make him feel like he's left another little kernel of knowledge that'll last after he's gone. My dad always does this. It's probably been one of the most significant strains on our relationship. He's 68 this year. You've just reminded me that he deserves to feel like his wisdom is being absorbed. Thanks. My best friend's chronic lateness and general disorganization. B can't make a plan and stick to it for her life. But I love that little scatterbrain. She likes to come over and cook me dinner. My father is always leaving his phone lying around somewhere, and guess who has to help him find it every time he loses it? Frankly, I put up with it because I was an Asperger child, and he's been dealing with my crap my whole life. My husband set up a Tasker profile on my phone so that he can text me, max volume, and turn the volume on my phone all the way up to help me find it. My father doesn't find interactions easy, and sometimes when I go over to visit he can be particularly quiet, but he's the best, has always been there for me, so I'm happy to let the silence sit or do most of the talking rather than press him on it. My dad is the same way, and sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time going to see him because he does live kinda far away from me, but I deal with it because I know he genuinely enjoys having me around even if he doesn't talk to me. Interrupting. My eldest sister is my best friend and I love her so much it's ridiculous, but she's a loud person who likes to hold court and always has to host even if it's not her event. Every time we have a conversation she keeps interrupting me and it enrages me. I brought it up to her a while ago and we had a laugh about it, and I now call her out when she does it, but man is that crap annoying. Just let me speak. My husband's dirty clothes every dang where. He just drops them wherever and almost never makes an effort to put them into any laundry basket. We have 4 plus my son's 1, and if it was up to him, they'd lay where they fell until he needed to wear them again. His socks would become so gross they'd be able to stand up and walk alone, like strange zombie socks from heck. I don't know why, but this is the most human thread I've read on here. I'm getting all these images of real people and the daily tolerance that is part of loving the whole person. I'm glad it's also making me reflect on my own relationships because my parents are in their late 60s and this thread is reminding me to enjoy their quirks while they're here. My so stress cleans. He'll get very angry at seemingly nothing and slam around the house while he cleans it thoroughly. I find it kind of scary and very stressful, but once he gets through it he's better and super happy. I put up with it because yes, I love him, and yes, he puts up with my stuff, and because it helps him cope with whatever is going on in his head. The only thing I bring up sometimes is that I would like him to see a therapist about it. It just get a coffee and watch as he destroys the dirt and mess. If I ever got sick, my sister would care for me until I died, and she'd be an angry bee about it until the last second. I tolerate the immediate bitchiness. Leaves. We have an oak tree over our house and my brother will not stop wearing his shoes in and dragging in oak leaves. I blow them off. I sweep or vacuum them up. The next morning there they are again. He's 6'5" and he doesn't see anything below eye level, lol. It's whatever. I choose to be here. But the fricking leaves. Also he's incapable of washing the lid to anything he uses. I happen to know I'm a pain in the butt though, so it's all good. My friend mows his elderly neighbor's lawn, but she still goes outside to collect the leaves from the tree in his yard which blow into her yard and tosses them back over the fence. My so frequently misplacing things and then asking me where he put them. At first it was cute, now it's annoying as heck. And the places he puts them, who puts their phone in the freaking pantry and forget about it. My best friend is super flaky, and I normally really hate flaky people. I remember the first time she flaked out on me. Me and another friend made plans with her days ahead of time for her birthday lunch. When the day came, she didn't reply back for hours, and when she did she said, "Oh, I'm not really hungry, but I can go and you guys can eat." WTF. So we went without her and ate. I think we even had cake without her. We later found out through a Facebook tag that her cousin had already taken her out to lunch. Eventually I got used to it and I know when she's going to flake before it even happens, so I don't get my hopes up. But she's also the kind of friend that buys you Beyonce tickets when you can't afford it. My boyfriend yawns, sneezes and burps very, very loudly. It's ridiculous. And at first I thought he did it on purpose and as a joke. But when I giggled, he got so self-conscious about it I decided to just ignore it. My sister is 30 and she still does these, especially the burping, very loudly on purpose. My dad never became the teacher he was probably meant to be, and so his inner teacher comes out every time no one asked a question. Every explanation is like a fully planned lecture. He starts with an anecdote or a joke, then gives an example, then makes a long list of other examples to add further explanation, and then a conclusion, all while pacing and making hand gestures. But usually what he is explaining is very obvious already, like how a buffet works, or how to go grocery shopping, or how to go to the movies, or how personalize a casserole, or how to eat. It sounds annoying and cute at the same time. D. My oldest brother is autistic and one of his things is good restrooms, so every place we go to has to have a great restroom. 0-20 I was 100% simpatico with him, but after a long road trip at 21, a bathroom emergency led me to the most disgusting gas station bathroom in Arizona. It looked like I was inside a can of Hormel chili. After that I became at peace and could now take a dump anywhere. Listening literally every day to every little thing that went wrong during her job. I love the girl, but dang, I don't go on an hour tirade about my work problems. I get venting and I do tell her about my day if something crazy or bad happens, but not all the time. Her work stress is beginning to stress me out. I used to do this until I got a job that didn't make me miserable. Now I don't cry in the shower before work, or be about it after. My boyfriend, he is so goddamn sweaty, but we've only been dating for 3 months and he has just started getting used to sleeping next to me, and I'll endure his clammy body if it means I get cuddled. There's these undershirts you can get online for $25 and they pretty much block out all sweat if you have money to spare. It might help with his general sweatiness feeling and it helps with smell too, I think. When people interrupt me, I'm a quiet and non-confrontational person, so people often ignore when I'm talking and talk over me. I tried to speak up about it, but I just gave up because my parents would give me crap about being disrespectful, but also because they still give me necessary things to live. My good friend can interrupt you and then ramble on about his opinion. Not like out of the blue interruption. You'll be like, you know, I don't know why people don't like this game. I think the game's amazing. People just, so on and so forth. Kind of a bad example, but I hope you get the point. I love him to bits and he's always there for me when I need him, so I put up with it, and he's great at explaining himself. so more times than not it's interesting to hear what he has to say. But it can get frustrating when you really wanted to say your opinion first and get it out of the way, then listen. My dad retelling the same stories of me as a baby. It used to annoy me because I grew up without him and only reconnected when I was 18 years old, so I'd get annoyed that he seemed so stuck in the past. But now that I'm older I realize it's because those are the only memories of me he has. We live in different countries so we don't get to see each other very often, so it's not easy for us to make new memories with each other. If he wants to tell me again for the 100th time of how he used to make my baby bottles, that's fine. My buddy likes to criticize everything I do. I know it's out of love and in his mind it's harmless one-off comments, but I deal with anxiety sometimes and it really hurts. His inability to see something through someone else's eyes. Literally, he's loving and kind, so I don't mean in a sociopathic way, but he's also almost a foot taller than I am and can't picture what things look like from my height. Or in the car, how the view changes from a couple feet to the side. He's always surprised when I can't see what he sees. Also, we watch TV using headphones so we can listen at different volumes and not pee off the neighbors. Big, visible, identical, over-the-ear headphones. He'll just start talking without reaching over 12 inches to pause the TV first. I don't want to ignore him, so I have to pause the TV, move my headphones, and ask him to repeat what he said multiple times per night. Both probably stem from the same basic problem. He can't visualize what the world looks like or sounds like from someone else's perspective. You should get headphones that have built-in microphones, like the ones they make for motorcycles. An old friend of mine had dealt with several years of anxiety depression. I'm pretty sure I'm one of the few that he really lets it out with. I've spent many days talking to him through the night, staying up well past the sun went up. The way we talk could seem strange to some people. We nearly exclusively use Facebook to chat, and he'll send me great walls of text sometimes before I respond with a short answer. He gets it though. I was never the most empathetic person, and could never really express in words my actual thoughts. I think on some levels he knows I need the conversation just as much as he does. Thanks, Eric. I'm the Eric in this situation and my roommate is you. I appreciate him so much for how he listens with no judgment. The rambling conversations on the phone with my mom. When I call her telling her ways, says I'll be there in about 45 minutes. See you soon. I listen and talk, thanks to modern technology allowing me to do so, because I know that she'll be gone in years to come. My dad's impatient nature. I tell my mom that Wiz said 45 minutes, because I know he'll be pee if it's a minute less than that. He's not an butthole by any means, except when it comes to punctuality. Neither of them know that I called after driving for 10 minutes, and the 45-minute estimate was from the second I started driving. So, I've adapted to their witnesses, because they put up with me, from baby to adult, and everything in between, and they both have less theoretical time than I do on this planet. Never call any of my relatives if you have anywhere to go that day, or specifically only call them during your work transit where you literally have to hang up. I have a friend who touches me a lot, not inappropriately at all, just on the arms, back, shoulder, etc. He hugs me, and I think it's because no one really cares for him or gives him that physical affection. But if I make him feel better, that's great because he's a sweet guy. I'd spoon with him if he asked as long as he kept his hands to himself, lol. I'd spoon with him if he asked as long as he kept his hands to himself, lol. Just going off the information you've given, I'm going to have to opine that that's not a good idea. Old friends calling me Ellie. That's not my name anymore, but that's what I went by when they met me. I feel like they've earned it. You'll always be our Miss Turtles to me. Not acknowledging what I said and skipping on to something he was thinking. I know he doesn't do it intentionally, he's told me, but sometimes I'm ready to punch him in the face. Pay attention to what I say. My husband ticks. He has to touch me when he does it and he sounds like a growling dog, lol. I hate it, but I love him and wouldn't trade him for the world. My mom has to comment on the price of gas at literally every gas station she passes. $2.87. I would never pay that. That Sunoco on Church Saint is $2.84. Mom, you have a 12-gallon tank. You're literally obsessing over an, at most, 36-cent savings. My best friend is a snail and leaves a trail everywhere she goes. For example, if she makes herself coffee at my house, she will leave drawers that she used slightly cracked open, or the used packets of sweetener on the counter instead of throwing them away, or cupboards cracked slightly ajar from when she grabs something or puts something back. On one hand, it drives me absolutely crazy because I don't like to leave messes. But on the other hand, I find it super adorable and I think it's pretty cute that I can walk into a room and trace out exactly where she's been by what is misplaced or disheveled. My husband has moderate severe ADHD that wasn't diagnosed until after we were married. As such, he's got a lot of mildly annoying quirks. His pockets are always full of small objects he doesn't remember picking up and he then deposits around the house. He rarely manages to fully finish a task in one sitting, be it cooking or folding laundry. He often doesn't listen and just says yeah because his brain is doing something else. He occasionally jumps into the middle of a conversation with an unrelated thing he absolutely has to say right then, and he cannot be relied upon to remember to do small tasks. But he's also the sweetest and most supportive person on earth. He knows when I'm stressed and he puts extra effort in. We both recognize that we're not perfect. I'm definitely too far on the strict and organized side, and we work together to find a happy medium. I would much rather be with someone with many bad habits who is willing to work on them than with someone who has only one or two, but won't admit there's anything wrong with their behavior. When my BF gets really excited about something, he gets right up in my face and screams about that current thing. Then he realizes he is being obnoxious and asks, "You hate me, don't you?" I know this must be annoying, I roll, but the way I'm imagining it is adorable. It's taken me a while, but my wife's mispronunciations, I never corrected her to be mean or humiliate her. I just wanted her to know the correct way so other people wouldn't think less of her. English is her first language, but all the different places she lived as a child, she picked up on some weird dialects and pronunciations that I just kind of ignore now. My girlfriend is late to everything. Not like 5-10 minutes late, like 45 minutes to an hour late. On the other hand, I like to be at least 5 minutes early, sometimes 10. We set up a movie date and the movie started at 1 PM. We agreed to meet at 12:30 to get lunch beforehand. I text her at 10 AM reminding her about the date. She says she'll be there at 12:30. At 12:45 I text her and ask where she is, and she says she hasn't left home, 45 minutes away from the theater. Great, we're gonna miss the movie. 1 o'clock rolls around and I call her. She still hasn't left home. I tell her I'm going home and not waiting anymore. She's furious at this point. Fine. I agree that if she can get here within the next 30 minutes we'll see the next showing. If not, I'm going home. She says she can make it. Fine. I start a timer. She makes it in 28 minutes and is confused why I'm mad. We talked for 30 minutes on how this was unacceptable. Now I give her 10 minutes max to be late and after that I go home. I've only had to go home once so far and I hope I don't have to anymore. My so sometimes chews with his mouth open, smacks when he eats. Before we started dating, I swore up and down that it would be a deal breaker for me because that noise makes me like actually irrationally angry. I used to ask him to stop and it's cut down to almost never. When it happens now I just let it go. It doesn't bother me in the same way anymore. My mom loved to sing even though she was tone deaf. She could only ever remember the main line or chorus of the song and she'd sing it over and over again. It's funny the things you miss. Do pets count? I put up with my cat Country singing day and night extremely loudly all across my street. I tolerate it cause he's fluffy and cute. My high school best friend's daily negativity. It's horrible. We're 48 yo and every text she sends is about how horrible her life is. I want to help her but it's useless because she won't do anything to have a positive moment in her day. I can suggest going for a walk and she'll reply that her wobbly butt's feet hurt from standing all day. Nothing works. She knows I'm eliminating people from my circle because I'm healing from a horrible relationship. And I can't take the negative energy people just throw at me. She's scared that I'll drop her but I won't. I feel she needs me so I tolerate her fricked attitude. Friends since 1984. Hugh. He's a loud eater. He's the loudest eater I've ever met. When I was younger I would go to bed without eating when we would have certain dinners, wings, soup, because of how much I hated listening to my family eat. But for 5 years, I have listened to the sound of his chewing and swallowing, which sounds like a freaking airplane toilet, because I loved him more than anything. Depression. I was majorly depressed and made friends who were as well. We helped each other, didn't push each other, just let ourselves be. Problem is over time, I worked on myself and got myself to a more up place. I pushed myself, put myself out there, and while I still grapple with anhedonia at times, I feel I'm happier than I have been in a long time. Meanwhile my friends are still in the pit. It's difficult to find common ground with them nowadays. It's hard for me to laugh at their bleak jokes about wanting to die, hearing them say how terrible people are, and how resigned they are to unhappiness. They're frustrated with me for pushing them to try new things and examine their thought patterns so they can disrupt them. It's sometimes tough for all people involved, but we still all love each other, and we've been there for one another at our darkest times. My parents continually screaming at me or looking disappointedly at me for the fleeting time they see me because of work. They're wonderful and very nice people, just need someone to vent to. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.